What's going on, everybody? Welcome to milezero.racers' new YouTube channel, and let's get right into it. Come take a walk with me. Okay, so just a little disclaimer for everyone. This video is going to be clean, cut, and simple. It's going to consist of what this channel is going to be about, its content, and why you should follow along. So without further ado, let's get into it and set up the tripod. Hello everyone, I just wanted to formally introduce myself, milezero.racers, and we have decided to start a full-blown YouTube channel, just a little bit of build series content, a little behind the scenes, and everything in between, essentially. So last May, roughly about a year ago, I purchased my first CB750, which is a 1975 CB750 F Super Sport. I've always wanted to build a true cafe racer. Now, my first motorcycle I ever got into was in 2017. I was 17 years old, and it was a Suzuki Savage. That sort of introduced everything to me. At that time, I didn't know the difference between a tool for this or a tool for that. Very new to everything. I had a small toolbox with mix-matched things, missing pieces, and now I've gotten to the point where I kind of have a small operation going. It's still a process every day with getting over hurdles, figuring things out. But to sort of explain it to you all, the 750 has opened many doors for me and has caused me to reach heights that I've never thought I could reach. With that being said, you may be wondering why the 750 is just frame and I'm not starting this series with it. A teardown, story of where I got it, things like that. But I will catch you up to speed, like I said, by telling you I bought it in Syracuse, New York, a year ago. It ran, but it didn't run well. There was a loud knocking noise. Pulled the motor, figured out that it was missing one of the 4 stud mounts for the head assembly. I have everything else to reassemble. That will be further videos, but basically tore it down, figured out plans, and decided to do a front-end conversion of a 2003 GSXR front forks with other various parts, and do the Moto Gadget scene and pretty much build something I never thought I'd be able to and actually build. So the 750 is named the Club Sport. Why? Because my plans and my intentions, the rendering I designed, sort of reflects a very original yet modern mold. And the beauty behind it is that from this process and acquiring that orange bike in the back that you notice, that's a Honda CB450, which we will get to. But after going through this process and noticing, I have acquired an extreme love for these Honda vintage motorcycles. That's why I want to keep it's a tough subject or a tough goal to achieve, because my love for the original form, Honda CB750, is enormous. And what I'm trying to do with these modifications, I don't want to steer too far away from those original aspects of the bike. The history of these 750s and how they were brought to the market, and their significance and their relevance, and how they changed the game in certain respects, is really a big part inside of me of why I love these things. So hopefully I achieve a goal between a perfect mold of the two, old vintage with new modern, and sort of creating a great masterpiece for you all to enjoy, and for myself especially to enjoy. Enough of the 750. Further videos will be just straight build content, right? That's going to be the main focus of this channel, is getting that 750 built. Now that we've covered a little bit of history on the 750, the Club Sport, the name of it, and sort of some ideas of what it's going to turn out to look like. Briefly, I kind of explained, but as we go, we'll learn more. I want to touch base on a bike that holds a special place in my heart, and that is the CB450 that you see in the background, the orange one back there. Before we introduce formally the CB450 over the tripod, I want to show it to you guys in a little different form. hopefully that little segment there you enjoyed, and it gives you a little perspective on how the channel is going to be operated. Now, I wasn't planning on doing just tripod talk show. I'm not a mechanic, so my how-to videos aren't going to be necessarily correct by the book or whatever you want to call it. So if I have a fun little trick that I like, of course I'm going to show you guys part along the way. But generally this content is simply just going to be watching the build come to fruition through segments and having some fun little parts like that intertwined. Enough of that, and let's get into this. It's a beauty of a machine. When I first stumbled across it on Facebook Marketplace, it was almost too good to be true. Price was a little high. Ended up figuring out some things that were wrong with it. It didn't run well, so got it for a steal. Really good price back in December. And actually, the reason why this bike holds such a great place in my heart is because my wonderful brother surprised me. Isn't that nice? It was pretty cool. So his sort of idea behind it was to hook me up for my 21st birthday, because this 750 isn't going to be on the road for a long time from now, and he figured if we were to find another Honda, it would sort of keep me intrigued and sort of sane while building the other bike. That's a little history on how I picked it up. Now what I've done to it to get it operating well. I put a new chain. I rebuilt the carbs. Still have to tweak them, tune them up, I put a new petcock, new fuel lines, oil change. I actually ran diesel oil recommended by Commuter, which I will link below. If you have any vintage Honda from a CB 125 to 550, they are your people to go to. They have great videos, great how-to videos. That's not something I can provide. Their knowledge is immense, and they're the reason why they're getting me through getting this back on the road. Along with that, I rebuilt the front brakes that didn't work. New piston, new seal, new fluid, bled, some new lines, and the front brakes work really well. Still have to dial in the alignment a little bit. But other than that, this bike runs like a top. The type of content you'll get from it is sort of more like moto vloggy, possibly, but it's not going to be like the drag-on moto vlog type videos. It's like if I'm on the bike for a little bit, boom, I'll throw a GoPro up and talk to you a bit, but also show you guys how it rips, because that's really what we like to see, is how she scoots, which for a 450, I was super surprised in the power. It was a lot of fun. This thing is a little like nimble, bopper da booper, dropper da booper. I don't know. I don't know what that was, but enough of that. This bike is great. Got it for a great deal. She's back running like a top, and until the 750 is done, I have plans for this bike to build, depending on how everything falls into place. If it all aligns, then we will be building this bike. But in the meantime, it's going to be all restored stock. I like it that way. And after having this bike all original, and then having the 750 half original modified, it sort of like makes me not want to restore this or build this bike. So we'll see what happens. I have some great plans for it if we do end up building it, but briefly, that's what the 450 is. It's named the Commuter. The reason I've named it the Commuter is because, for those reasons exactly, it's my bop around, it's my daily driver of sorts, it's my bike to ride. Enough of the 450, enough of the 750, enough of me blabbering. Next week, we'll get into the 750 content and everything in between. I hope everyone is as excited as I am to start this new journey and process, because, what the hell, why not? Why not do something like this, right? You're putting all this money, time, sweat, and effort. So here we are. I hope you guys enjoy, and stay tuned for more.